guys, it's Tim from Lowe's Southern Farms again. So, as you've seen on our last YouTube, episode where we were fixing on our tractor tire here, we got it on part ways. I didn't film that part because it was actually taking quite a bit of time to do. So this morning, it's probably around 30 something degrees out here. We got to get gravel today. We got to go get some gravel and finish our pond build, start putting gravel and everything into it so that we can seal it off and keep that dirt from romping around. So I got to get this fixed and take care of this tire over here so that we don't have this issue anymore, so we can unload our trailer, because we got to go get a couple loads today and get that done, so that and then we also still have to move our chickens. So let's see how it goes. Finally found the right tool. So I got to thinking, we could easily fight with this thing for hours if we could figure out a way to get this tire pushed up towards the ceiling point and then air it up. So always remember too that when you're working around stuff like a tractor that's got a lot of hydraulics and stuff, pay close attention to things leaking off, like the bucket. Make sure you're out of the way. I've got this kind of scotched up just by the tractor's hydraulics. But always remember to try to think safety first, even if you're in a hurry. Never skip on safety. It's very, very important. Always could be simple mistakes made that could lead to big problems in the future for you. Just remember that when working on any piece of machinery, even though this tractor is not what I call heavy duty, it's more of a compact size tractor. This tractor still weighs close to 5,000 pounds. So if this tractor like this bucket here was to come down on top of me, it's going to hurt. So just remember to stay out of the way when you're working on any piece of machinery. One thing I would recommend is never lift a boom up, the tractor bucket up, and get it up and then stand under it to work on anything, especially the hydraulics, without cribbing everything up first. And what I mean by cribbing, if some of you don't know, is just a stack of blocks of wood up in like a crib fashion, like just horizontally on top of each other, almost like a log cabin, if you want to put it that way. That will secure that load a lot better. And just make sure your ground and stuff is hard enough to support that load, so that you don't have an issue while you're working on something that's really heavy. So always think safety first. Look out for yourself, especially if you're working on a farm. We're working outside here. We're pretty much by ourselves most of the time. I always got a cell phone on me and a gun, of course, since I'm on my own property. So just always think about that first. That will help you to stay alive and stay injury free as much as possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this ratchet strap. We're going to try this out, see if this works. I've seen this before, work for other people. This is actually the first time this tire right here has actually come off on me. Before it's such a thick rubber of a tire, even though it's a small tire, it's very thick and got a lot of rubber on it, just to support the extra load this tractor carries, because it'll hold up to 1,000 pounds in the bucket itself. So this tractor tire is thick enough to support that weight and to hold up under immense pressure. So it only holds about 23 pounds of air, 22 to 23 pounds. So not a lot of poundage in the tire itself, and really not a lot of mass to air up. So what you seen us using on the last video was actually a 24 volt battery operated air pump. I'll see the brand on here. Oh, Sunjoe is the brand. I'm not sponsored by them by no means. But if you can find one, pick one up similar to this. These things are great to have around. I've had two of these. The first one I actually gave away. I actually bought my father one for a Christmas present one year. He enjoyed the one he's got. It's something handy you can carry in your vehicle. The battery lasts us a long time. And then, you just got to keep it charged, of course. But the battery don't run out near as quickly on these. Once it's at a full charge, I can actually air up my truck tire, which is 40 pounds, in about 10 minutes from flat. I actually done it the other morning. So using this right here. So just keep that in mind. This is very portable, unlike the thing here below me, which you can't see, which is it's an air tank, pretty much a shop air tank. You gotta start these things, charge them, get the air tank full, and you might not use all of it in a day or in a sitting. This right here you can use very quickly, very easily, very remotely. So if you're out in the woods, you're trail riding, or whatever you do, or you're out farming, we can't carry a big air compressor around with us. It just helps to have something this small and this quick to air up a tire. So just do recommend this if you find one similar to this. Probably about $30. It's worth its weight. It's worth its money to spend that $30 on this. It really does a really good job. At least the one I have does. So anyways, let's get to work. Let's see what we can do about this tire so we can go get our gravel and start spreading it in our pond. as you can see, I don't know if the camera's going to focus or not, but we're setting at about 22 pounds right now. No air leakage. Don't hear no air coming out. When I left you guys the other day, we actually were leaking a little bit around the rim area. So I got to thinking, well, we probably ought to put something around it. Now, I've seen this on other videos, just so you guys know, on YouTube. But with this small of a tire, you can use a pretty small ratchet strap. Tie it down to the middle part of your tire. Strap it down, crank on it, and it'll squeeze the rubber this way. Now keep in mind, I did have to use the bars that you've seen in the other video in order to get this pulled up over the rim, because this rim has like a little lip area that dips down, and there's a seal that matches that on the tire. That seal actually has rings all the way around the tire in order to seal. It's compression rings. So we had to get that up over so that our compression rings would seal against this as the air comes in. It pushes it out and pushes those compression rings. What the ratchet strap's purpose was just to try to help get those compression rings pushed a little bit more, and they just needed a little bit to seal this back off. Because the thing is once you get a tire off the rim, you can hardly ever get it back on. You know, not completely off the rim, but of course. But once it's past that seal point and it breaks the seal, it's very hard to get these tires, especially tractor tires, back on and get them sealed right again. So I've seen several other people do it this way, not just on YouTube, but on other channels and things of that nature. Seen people do it this way. It's a good idea. Just be careful on when you start to air it up and you see the air's coming in and you see it's starting to seal out. You definitely want to break the ratchet strap loose. If not, this could explode pretty much, come out, because the pressure is going to go somewhere. So just keep that in mind when you're doing something like this. This is not what I would call safe, and you just got to understand how it works and understand when to back the pressure off of the ratchet strap here. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing something like this. This is something that took me probably 15-20 minutes at most to do this. Now I've got an aired up tire. I don't have to take it to the shop. I'm good to go. I'm done. I'm sure you could do this on other types of tires too. Lawnmower tires I wouldn't really recommend. You could pretty much get them on by hand by just doing what I was doing on the first video, and that's pulling back. I've actually had to do that this past summer as well to keep mine aired up. Sometimes they get too flat and we drive on a flat thinking we'll be okay. And when you drive on a flat and try to park something or pull something out, you're just asking for this seal in this area back here. You can't see it on this video, but there's a seal in behind this rim that seals up against this area in the rim. So if you break that seal, once that seal's broke, you have to be able to pull that tire back in order to seal it off again. So lawnmower tires are very easy to do. You can jack them up, do them that way, kind of put the air pump to them, start airing them up, pull. Usually they seal up pretty quickly because there's not much rubber there. But something like this tractor tire, which has got a lot of thick rubber, it's very hard, almost nearly impossible to just actually pull it over by hand. At least for me. I'm sure somebody out there could probably do it by hand, but normal guy, not a chance. So you can use like what I was using, a bar, but you've got to be really careful not to damage the tire, puncture the tire. It's all going to depend on how old your tires are. These, I believe, are around 3 years old, 4 at most. We've not had the tractor very long. We've ran it pretty hard since we've had it, as you can tell. We've used it for excavating, and I'll try to show some of those videos later on. We'll be doing some excavating around the house, and we'll use the backhoe and stuff like that, and show you guys what we got going with that. And if we do any more excavating jobs, we'll have to see. As 2020 is upon us now, we'll just have to see if that's going to happen anymore or not, since we've, of course, had COVID. So, anyways, we got it aired up, ready to go. So time to get our tractor out. It's time to get to work, getting our trailer loaded onto our truck so we can head down the road and grab some gravel.